said commence. Anyway, yes, welcome back to SpoonCast. My name is Spoon. This is my alias that I go as on YouTube. Your host, Spoon. Fuck, I fucked up already. Wait, let me start again. Welcome back. I hate when you just start from a script and then you just mess up the script by adding your own thing in. And it just messes up the flow. Anyway, welcome back to SpoonCast. My name is Spoon, your host, and I'm joined here today with CR.
Yes.
Okay, which I'm interviewing today. He is the founder of godisageek.com, which is a game reviewing website. And he ran for Parliament, yes?
Yeah, that's right, in the last general election.
Yes. This is the UK, by the way, so yes, you know where I live. Anyway, he also runs a political podcast as well, which I will link in the description if you're interested in that. Yes. Okay, so this is the second episode of my podcast, which I'm going to be interviewing loads of people about what they do, how they started up, and how they are here. And more info about them, which they don't give other people, so I'm stealing off of them. Anyway.
I like it.
Yes. Okay, so tell us a bit about what you're doing right now. What are you doing right now? What are you doing on a daily basis right now?
What am I doing with my life? I don't know. It's a bit anticlimactic because I was campaigning my arse off during the last half of last year for the election, and then it came to an end. We won, which was fantastic. But it's like, what do you do now? I don't really know. I'm just kind of working, and that's about it.
What were you campaigning for?
I was
What
campaigning
are you now because of that.
I was campaigning for Brexit, which I know people might frown at, so I don't know what your listeners or viewers are like, but I believe in freedom and democracy, so I was campaigning to get the United Kingdom out of the European Union, whether that was for the Brexit Party or the Conservative Party, doesn't matter to me. I got a lot of friends in both. Some of them actually got elected into the House of Parliament, which is fantastic. So
Okay.
job done, and we're out now. We left. There was a massive party, last week. Oh my gosh. So Friday night, 31st of January, we left the European Union, and the party, it was epic. Honestly, Spoon, down in Parliament Square in Westminster.
Parliament Square, all these boomers doing a party.
Thousands of us. It was amazing.
Oh no. Alright, without getting people triggered, I think most of the people... Okay, alright. Without getting people triggered...
No, the point is get people triggered, man.
Okay, alright. It's
Get
time
them
to get...
uncomfortable.
Okay, we need to get them... We need to be controversial on this podcast, alright? Yes. That's what I'm saying. We need to be really controversial.
If people get triggered, they're too wet.
Exactly. That's the title of the video. No. Okay, so let's talk about Guys Are Geek for a bit. Okay, it's a
Sure.
game review website, right?
Yeah, so I started God is Geek when I was at university, actually. I wanted to write about video games. I wanted to review them because I was a big gamer. I still am. Well, not as much as I was, but I still love games. And I wanted to basically get into that industry. And I thought, what's the best way of doing it? I don't want to write for someone else. I don't want to work for someone else. Let me set up something on my own. And I got my uni friends involved, and they all used to write for the site. And it took off quite big. It's quite dodgy, actually. You want to hear a dodgy story about how we boomed success?
We like dodgy stories on Spoon's websites, and everything about Spoon is dodgy. Anyway, yeah.
So right now it's one of the biggest websites in the UK, one of the biggest video game websites. We're on billboards, we're on TV ads for like FIFA and COD and stuff like that. It's quite well known. We get all the latest games sent to us and all that kind of stuff. But in the beginning, we were just like a little blog. It was just me and 4 uni mates writing about what we enjoyed and what news we could figure out in the games industry. And we wanted to get big, and we wanted to get big quick. But not only that, we also wanted to get early access to games, which is obviously what all games reviews websites get. You get to play the game before it comes out, and it's tough to do that. Now, one of our guys back in the day, who's not a member of the site anymore, I should add, acquired, let's say, a copy of a video game before it came out, and this was Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, the game that started everything.
This is the game that started everything. He acquired it, he played it, he loved it, he wrote a review, put it on the website, and the traffic was crazy. And what we didn't know back then was there's embargoes, right? So Activision will give you a copy of the game, or usually these days, to be honest, they take you out, they send you out somewhere, they put you in a hotel, they let you play the game under lock and key. But sometimes they can send you a copy of the game early, and they say the embargo is such and such time at such and such date, which means you can write about it, but you can't publish it until that time and date.
Okay.
So that it's fair for everyone. So we all the publications get it online at the same time, so it's everyone's getting it. But we didn't know about embargoes. So my friend acquired a copy of the game early, wrote about it, pushed it onto the website straight away. So we were the first people to have a Modern Warfare 2 review. So as you can imagine, we got a lot of traffic for that. We got thousands and thousands of views, and I think that is what started the momentum and the growth that made God is a Geek the success that it is today, because of some dodgy guy getting a dodgy copy of a game early.
Are you allowed to say that on here?
I don't know. I don't really care.
I don't care. Right. If you get cancelled because of me, we're controversial out here, so we don't condone this, but we do condone it at the same time.
Oh yeah, I definitely do not condone getting dodgy early releases of games. Get it through their official channels,
yes,
but
pay for the game. Don't never.
Always
games.
support your industry. Yeah.
Yes, or that will die off. Anyway.
Usually I buy multiple copies of COD actually, because it's one of those games I want on the Xbox and the PlayStation and the PC, so I make up for it.
All right, flex. Okay.
But and to be honest, on that note, I didn't even know this, right? So for a few years after this, we were blackballed from Activision events. So when the site started to get big, we get to go to events, and you get to get hands-on with the game early, or you just get to go to a party, and it's free food and drink, and you just have a celebration. You meet other people. This is before influencers, really. This is before YouTube was actually big. So it's mostly other games reviewers. These days, the events are full of YouTubers and Instagrammers and all these kind of people. But we were blackballed from all Activision events. I couldn't figure out why.
What do you mean by blackballed? Like,
as in, we weren't invited to them. But it was worse than that, because I blagged my way into one once, and I got kicked out. And I couldn't understand why. I was like, I'm Calvin from God is Geek. Don't you know who I am? They dragged me out. They dragged me out of this event. And I'm like, okay, cool, something's going on here. Activision hate us. And this is years after, so I'd forgotten about our dodgy start. Anyway, I found out eventually there's this guy, I won't say his surname, but his first name is Matt. He's got a massive chin. KSI mentioned him in one of his songs, right?
Oh, shit. Okay.
Can't see me riding in my Lamborghini.
Yeah,
anyway, this guy is a proper... You know what he is. And he was the guy who actually figured that we must have acquired a dodgy version of this game back in the day, and he blackballed us from all future Activision events forever. Anyway, he eventually got kicked out or left the company or whatever, and we were fine, and we've done a lot of amazing work with Activision since then, and we help each other out. That's how the industry works. But yeah, I had beef with this guy way before KSI, mate.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Wait. Beef with KSI? Is that one famous guy?
This guy isn't famous, but KSI had beef with him as well.
Okay, alright. Oh, some intel. I didn't know. Alright, I have so many juicy topics here. Oh my god. Alright, we need to build up to them. Okay, let's backtrack a bit.
Alright.
What was the first game that you ever played? What's the first game you ever played? What is your favourite game to date right now? There you go.
My first game I ever played was Sonic the Hedgehog. And that was on a Sega Master System, even though the Mega Drive was out at the time. So this was like a 16-bit version of Sonic the Hedgehog. This was old school, and I loved it. It was amazing. My favorite game at the moment or of all time?
Let's make those two different questions. At the moment and of all time.
Favorite game at the moment is, I'm liking COD, but I think Gears is actually better or more fun.
God,
I love Gears, man.
I don't like Gears, so
I know, I just don't get it.
It's gonna be controversial. I'm so bored of COD and Gears right now. You know what I mean? Like COD, I can only play with other people,
but Gears is just satisfying. Oh, the headshots.
Nah, the movement in Gears is dodgy. Sorry, you have to do some like cover to cover division type of shit.
But yeah, that was one of Gears of War. Also, while I was in uni, that was like the game that made me become a console gamer for a while. That's the one that sold me on the Xbox 360. I was like, oh, this is actually sick. And I got my 360 because of Gears. So it's kind of been with me all those years.
Okay. Of all time?
Oh, that is... In fact...
Favorite game of all time?
Thing is, no one will know it. It's a game called Neocron. This is a massively multiplayer online roleplay game, MMORPG. And it was this first-person science fiction, because
Search
most
this up.
MMORPGs
Neocron.
are fantasy. Yeah,
Neocron.
Neocron. The graphics look shit today, but honestly, I've never had more fun in a game than I did in that one. I actually met one of my real good in real life friends from that game.
Oh.
Because he came to a LAN party and we played the game so much, and like, we're long time friends.
Neocron. Why does it look like it has Half-Life graphics? Is that just me?
Yeah, it does pretty much. It does.
All right. All right, Neocron. All right, shout out in the comments and write in the comments if you know what Neocron is. But most people who are watching this are Zoomers, so probably
Yeah.
don't.
Well, I'll tell you the game I've played the most, and
Everyone
that
knows
is
Fortnite.
no.
Who watches me? I know, yeah.
Well, you have a guess. You know me a bit. What game do you think I've played the most?
The most right now, recently.
No, as in all time, what's the game I put the most hours into?
Damn, I don't know. Like, there's couple options here. There is CS.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. See, actually, CS is probably my favorite game of all time. I've had
Okay.
more fun in that game. Oh my gosh.
The
That started
amount
it
of
all.
moments that we have in CS is actually mad. Like,
Blue, do you have ears?
only certains will know that. That video is lost in existence. It's still up, but this. Alright, no one search for it.
So the thing is, I used to play CS back in the day with someone I looked up to and admired, a guy called Amir. He used to host these LAN parties that I used to go to. I used to love them. It was great fun. And the whole cycle has come back around because now, obviously, I met you guys and we all play CS and we have LAN parties and stuff.
We need to get me on the podcast once.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay.
Talk about controversial.
Oh no. Speaking of controversial, your podcast.
But CS is not the game I've played the most, I don't think. There's one game I've played more than that.
Okay, Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek Online. Probably the game I've put the most hours into. I don't even know why anymore.
How many hours do you have on Star Trek Online?
Probably around 2,000.
2,000 hours, man. Where did you put that? I need those hours. Can I have your hours, please? I want to put that in a different game.
And that actually bought something good last week for me as well. I had an interview with Jerry Ryan. And if you don't know, she's 7 of 9 from Star Trek Voyager. And obviously I grew up watching Voyager. That was a major thing for me. And she was like, she's an epic character. I really admired her. So I got to speak to her and have a chat with her. That was one of the amazing things about, being part of God is Geek. You get to meet some of your idols, some of your heroes.
Okay, so you you interviewed her? Or
Yeah, I interviewed her, yeah.
Was it like a...
Because she was doing some voiceovers for Star Trek Online, and she's also in the new series Star Trek Picard, so I got to ask her about those things.
Okay, well, as you know me, I know nothing about Star Trek, but I know a lot about Star Wars, so we out here fighting. Anyway. So you get to interview a lot of people. Who's the most famous person you've interviewed doing Gods of Geek?
I don't know about interviewed, but I met Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Method Man and Redman, they both came up to me to admire my afro once at E3. Who's the most famous people? I don't know. In the UK, I've interviewed Jonathan Ross.
Who's that? Let people know who
Jonathan Ross. He's like a television guy. He I don't know. He's a film reviewer and stuff.
Okay.
I can't really think. I've met a lot of people. Usually there's a lot of like footballers at these events and reality TV stars like Made in Chelsea and that kind of thing. They get VIPs down to make it look more special at these industry events. So I've met quite a few people through that.
Yeah. Have you ever considered changing your blog style of reviewing into video reviewing? Have you watched Ranton? You've watched Ranton, haven't you?
Yeah, and yes and no. So God is Geek has a YouTube channel, and obviously I started one to try that for a while. It went okay, but wasn't a massive success. It's just the thing with videos is, you have to be consistent. You've got to do it on a daily, and it's effort.
Some people don't have the time, and just it's long.
And there's so much competition out there as well, and trying to grow something from scratch all over again is difficult.
Okay.
It's a bad time to get into it. I think if you started 5 years ago, you're ahead.
What do you think you should start now? Like how do you think you people can get big now by starting off doing their passion, like writing, blogging, videoing, podcasting? What medium do you think is popping off right now?
That's a good question. I think content is getting shorter and more visible. So it started on long written reviews, and then it went to spoken reviews, and then it went to video reviews, which were about 15 minutes, and everything's getting shorter and shorter. TikTok craze is kind of taken over the world, but don't trust TikTok kids. It's a Chinese-run app, and they are dodgy as hell.
Okay, all right.
Don't give your information to the Chinese government.
Do not trust the Chinese government. No. Never trust them. They created the coronavirus. No, I'm
Mate,
joking.
Don't get me started on bat soup. Oh my god.
Okay, we'll talk about that at the end. Okay, alright. Let's keep it gaming now, alright? Okay. I need to write that down. Coronavirus. Okay.
The awkward pause while you literally stop to write something down.
It's fine. This is how scuffed this podcast is. It's so natural that you actually have to be in there, alright? Okay.
Cool.
You have to understand the thought process. The thought process. God
yeah.
damn it.
The thought process.
Okay. Do you have any next steps for God is a Geek? What else are you doing on God is a Geek? Have you just let that other people run it for you right now?
Yeah, other people take care of it. There's a fantastic team looking after it. I've got an editor-in-chief, Adam Cook.
Do you want to shout out the team?
Yeah, shout out to Adam Cook. He's been editing the site for years now. He's a top bloke, and there's a great team of writers surrounding him and a couple of co-editors. But essentially, all I do is I used to run the admin side of things, but essentially at the moment, all I do is turn up once a year to do a Call of Duty review, and that's that. Because that's my game of the year usually.
Not gonna lie, I pressed on a YouTube video by accident. It started playing like 3 seconds of music. So in the audio, you're gonna hear like for like 3 seconds. So
such amateur hour.
This is not amateur.
Do you even podcast though?
This is podcast hour. All right. You're gonna hear children screaming. No, I'm joking. I'm not. I've closed the door. No, I haven't closed the door. All right. It's fine.
There's always children screaming when Spoon's around.
Okay. Yes. So as we were talking about celebrities and people, not celebrities, like people you interviewed, I want to talk about one other thing. We've already talked about this ourselves. Okay,
I was just gonna say, like, people that watch your video might know more people. Like, I did an interview with AliA. I've done some short video with KSI. Let me think. Yeah, on video wise and content wise, they're the only ones I think that your people would know.
Okay, not gonna lie. When you said AliA, I clapped my hand so hard because that's who I was gonna talk about, and a pencil flew out my hand. Which made some noises, so may have heard that. Anyway, yeah, unreleased stuff. All right, so let's talk about this controversy that we found out like 6 months ago about AliA stealing your video.
Oh no, we can't.
Can we talk about that or can we not?
I mean, I haven't mentioned it to him, so I just feel a bit awkward talking about it here. But let's just say that
let's not say there's no beef. There's just funny.
No, there's no beef at all. Okay. I think he's a great guy.
It's just funny that we found.
It was funny that I had a YouTube copyright alert letting me know that one of my videos, the content from one of my videos, had been used elsewhere. So I checked to see where it was, and it was one of his videos.
Keemstar, if you want me and Calvin on next week, yeah, there you go. Just
at Calvin Robin Hood on Twitter.
At AliA at £5 at £5. Yeah, just at us all, and we'll sort something out. Yeah, all right. What shall we actually get on Keemstar because of this? Nah, we won't. Never know. All right. I wanted to talk about your gaming setup.
Yeah.
What are you running right now? Are you still running Alienware?
I'm still running my Alienware. It's 2 years old now, but it's still a beast. I've got a triple monitor setup. I've got, 27 inch in the middle, and then two 21s each side. So the 21s are portrait, and the 27 is landscape across the middle. So the middle one is for my game. I have one on the right for my resource monitor to check what's going on with my CPU, my disk, my network, and my Steam friends list is on there.
Fancy.
And then on the left is WhatsApp and Signal and TeamSpeak.
Okay, so you have a full triple monitor setup. Okay.
It's got to be done, man. I couldn't go back to one monitor now. I'd feel claustrophobic.
And they're all high-end monitors, right? They're all like...
No, so my middle monitor is QINX, so it's a dodgy Chinese brand, which I don't condone, but it's got a nice high refresh rate. I think I've got it set at about 120 hertz at the moment. And then the PC itself is an Intel i7 6700K, so 4.2 gigahertz. I've got a GeForce 1080, 8 gig, which I could do with upgrading at some point. I tried to get
2080 in. Get that 2080 in.
Well, I wanted to get a 2080, but they didn't send me one, even though they said they would.
We're just starting beefing everyone here, aren't we?
Yeah, man. Yes, I will.
No.
I wanted to get another 1080 so I could have two on SLI, but I can't find one on Amazon to buy one similar to what I've got because all the flipping bloody the farmers have got them all.
Oh,
the Bitcoin farmers bloody hiking up the price of good graphics cards. Anyway, I've got 64 gig of RAM, 850 watt CPU cooling, liquid cooling PSU. I've got a whole range of mice and keyboards, but at the moment I'm using the Fanatic keyboard. It's the mini one without the numpad on it, and a SteelSeries mouse. It is which one is it? 700 or something?
Yeah. Have you reviewed most of your peripherals?
Yes.
Okay. So I will link your channel in the description to go to those reviews. So everything of Calvin is linked in the description, so you can just see everything. You have on your Steam, you have everything for your PC as well, don't you?
That's true.
I'll just copy and paste that in the description as well. So
yeah, maybe don't post my Steam because I get all these random. I always get randoms adding me, don't you?
Yeah, I get these like. I'm not gonna say it.
These CS:GO people, right?
These CS:GO people with Russian names, and there's some like with a female picture on them, and there's some like anime female pictures on them. Like,
oh my gosh!
Sorry, mate. I add them all. Don't worry. I just add them just in case. Just in case. Okay. No. All right. Anyway. Yeah. I won't link your Steam. I'll just link what's on your Steam description, whatever. I know it's there. Okay. So. What am I going to talk about? Oh yeah, the segue. The segue is perfect. Okay, so we were speaking about gaming setups and what you run, what you have.
I gave away a segue once.
Segue. Oh, you need to do more giveaways.
Patrick got it.
Patrick G got it. Yeah. That's why he was saying he had a segue. All right. Damn, you gave him everything. Gave him his whole setup. Anyway.
Carry on.
Are you ever gonna bring back Tech Thursday?
Yes.
Tuesday? Was it Tech Tuesday or Tech Thursday?
You know what? I'm gonna just do a Tech Thursday this week.
Yes.
I'm gonna do it. I got sent some things recently, and I haven't talked about them yet, so I won't even. In fact, sneak peek on the SpoonCast.
This is going up this week as well, so.
You say that, but I know how long you are. I've got one of them's got Iron Man, one of them is Deadpool, one is Spyro, and one is Sonic. That's the sneak peek. I won't say what they are, but that's
so one is that. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, what kind of Tech Thursday can have those kind of things?
Exactly.
What's that got to do with a PC? Either is it like a branded mouse or a mouse
No, it's from my consoles.
Okay, it's controllers, so we got that.
Ooh, and also I had an email from Xbox this week saying, "Can we send you something?" I was like, "Yes, of course you can." I have no idea what it is, so we'll find out. That might be a Tech Thursday as well.
He's getting the Xbox. He's getting the new Xbox early.
Oh my god, I would die if it was.
Well, there's no point. The server's not up yet, so
there's always a press server for these things.
Back inside knowledge. Might have to segue back to something early in the video, but we'll keep on going. Anyway, Tech Thursday coming out this week. So
yes.
This week, I don't know what your timing is. So, what else I was going to speak about? What else is on your mind?
My mind is blank, mate. You're the host.
I'm the host, yeah. No, how's your podcast going?
My podcast is it's all right. I don't know. It's a bit serious. I think I've just been watching some clips and thinking about it. We talk about politics. We've got people from different areas. We've got a Lib Dem on there, former Lib Dem candidate. We've got a Conservative candidate. We've got a Brexit Party candidate, and someone who is suing the Conservative Party. So it's quite a varied range of people. No Labour people, because I like Jewish people, so I don't want any anti-Semites on my podcast.
What? Liberals are wait, what?
I like Jewish people, so I've got no Labour people on my podcast.
All right, we heard it here, guys. CR likes Jewish people. Okay.
Yes. No, I'm just.
Yo, who's that? I have a question about that guy on your podcast. Who's that guy? The guy who has books in the background of his webcam.
Books. Hamish Hunter. He is a
guy
barrister.
with glasses. Like, I don't know. I just had to bring that up because me and Matthew like had a solid half an hour discussion making fun of this guy's noises that he does inside of your podcast. Like,
what noises does he do?
God. I don't know. If you listen throughout the podcast, he'll make these weird noises like and stuff like that throughout
What?
the podcast.
What?
No, he will. Like sometimes, but like sometimes you'll just see him jumping up and down, waiting to say something.
I love when he gets on his rants because they are top quality. But we're recording an episode tomorrow.
All right, episode tomorrow. Okay. Well, we're recording this episode today, so.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are. Oh, fuck. This is only 25 minutes long. Okay, so let's get into our different topics. Let's get into like non-gaming topics now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have a set structure for this podcast because I didn't really know what I wanted to talk about.
I'm kind of picking up on that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my last podcast, I actually knew I was going to talk about because I watched this guy for a long time, but I knew for like a long time as well. So I probably basically know everything and don't know what to put out.
Yeah, it's tough when you know people, isn't it? Here's a question for you: tomato ketchup, fridge or cupboard?
I keep mine in the fridge.
As it should be. All these heathens keeping their ketchup in the cupboard. What is that about?
There's drawbacks. I got the positives and the negatives. Yeah.
Yeah.
The positive is that it stays cold. Okay. So it's like more sticky. It sounds like it's less runny. But the negative is, I don't know, there's some water build up in it. Like,
I hate that water build up. Oh my gosh. But that's only with new bottles, isn't it?
I don't know, man. I haven't been around for 50 years, sorry.
When you open a new bottle of ketchup, that water build up is disgusting. Whatever it is. Why are we talking about water build? Anyway, AliA keeps his in the fridge. Cliff Blazinski, who made Gears, he keeps his in the fridge.
Wait, AliA keeps his tomato ketchup in the fridge. So he said you can't there, sorry.
Yeah, AliA keeps his in the fridge.
Okay, so AliA, if you want to be on the next podcast, I'll be emailing you later tonight. Yeah.
All right.
Be looking out for that. I'll at you on Twitter with this podcast as well. So, anyway, shout outs done. Coronavirus in China. Let's go into that.
Oh gosh.
You're gonna run. I want to know this. I never even knew this was gonna come up today. All right. What are your views on China?
I'm gonna get in trouble, but I think it's a disgrace what's going on over there.
Spoon is gonna be banned in China. You know that?
Of course, everything's banned in China. That's the problem with China. They don't believe in freedom. They've got a communist dictatorship going on over there, and they try to control their people's, not just what they say, but what they think. And it's disgusting. If you have a religion that isn't just believing in the state, if you believe in something other than the state, then you get sent to a concentration camp. And what they're doing to the Uyghur Muslims over there at the moment is a disgrace, and everyone in the Western world should be standing up against China.
1 second. Keep on talking. I'm just going to close my door. Yeah, just keep on talking to the podcast.
Sure. And then, yeah, we need to promote freedom and democracy and teach the Chinese people the ways of liberties. But also, this coronavirus thing, right? Where's it come from? Who's eating bat soup? Who's putting a bat and putting soup in its belly? And it's just. And then the live mice. Who the hell wants to eat a mouse that is still crawling? The way they dip it in the button and just shove it in the mouth, and the guy's face is like, no, mate, no, it's not right. The reason we cook food is because it's more hygienic.
Oh, all right. This is Calvin on why we cook food. Okay.
Yeah. What is going on? They eat anything over there. It makes me feel sick.
The thing is, I don't know. I took down this video, but is the thing about Chinese Muslims real?
Yes, it's real. They're actually sending them to concentration camps, they call it re-education, but they're essentially torturing these people just for being Muslim. It's completely wrong, and we need to be standing up against it. I would never visit that country. We need to be protesting and demonstrating constantly.
Damn it.
And that's why we shouldn't be allowing companies that are run by the Chinese to be sending their business over here. For example, Huawei. They're setting up our 5G network over here. Their director is essentially a member of the Chinese government. It's not okay.
I replaced your Wiley Fox with a Huawei.
Oh, did you? Oh gosh. So the Chinese know everything you're doing and saying on your phone.
All right, so
and TikTok is a big back door. Do not install TikTok on your phones.
What does TikTok do? Yeah.
It gives the Chinese government full access to everything you do on your Android, man.
All right, so JJ, yeah, KSI, delete TikTok off your phone, bruv.
Yes.
Delete all these TikTokers, yeah. You're all Chinese influencers. But wait, is TikTok allowed in China? Wait. Obviously
No, it's called something else in China, I think.
What's it called in China?
I don't remember, but whoever it is, they bought out Musically, didn't they? And then it's called TikTok over here now.
Wait, yeah. Speaking of Musically and TikTok, yeah, is Musically TikTok?
Yeah, it's the same thing. They bought it out and used the technology.
Bro, Allah had a
It's called Douyin in China.
Douyin. Okay, so is it exact same logo or?
No, it's different.
Okay.
But it's more censored, obviously, because it's in China.
Oh, damn China with their censoring. I don't understand. What is China's ideology? It's about to become North Korea.
It's worse.
I wonder what's going on in North Korea.
Exactly. No one knows. In fact, one of my friends did go over there recently, and he said they checked his phone before he was leaving, and they made him delete a load of photographs and stuff that he'd taken of things. And they're so strict that you can't just take a photo of a statue. Like, you have to get specific things in the photograph if you want to take them.
What?
Yeah, I know, it's so dodge. This is communism and dictatorships. It's wrong. This is why I'm political. This is why I fight in elections and stand up for democracy and civil liberties and people's freedoms to say and do what they like. Exactly.
That's the origin of the catchphrase.
Liberties.
So wait, I thought Musically was different to TikTok. There's a whole gap in my brain. Like, so TikTok is Musically.
Yeah, Musically. Remember, it was just like year 7 girls messing around doing stupid dances, and then the Chinese bought it, copied it with the Douyin, and turned it into TikTok, and then everyone just jumped on board.
Bro, I don't even know. I forgot all about Musically. I thought there was just Vine and TikTok. I didn't even know where TikTok came from. Like, I thought Musically just died out and another thing just came out called TikTok.
No, they took it over. Just like Vine died out when Twitter took it over.
Twitter. What is your views on Twitter?
I can't stand it. It's toxic.
I just look at information on Twitter. I don't see beef going on.
I have a love-hate relationship. Obviously, I've got like over 7,000 followers, so I engage with it quite actively. Usually, my account's on lockdown at the moment. But
why is it on lockdown?
I'll get into that another time. But just whenever you tweet about anything, there's always haters and these libtards just jumping on your back. It's so annoying. You can't have an opinion anymore unless it's the same opinion as everyone else. If you have a different opinion, people can't take it. Everyone just gets triggered.
But isn't triggered good?
It's good to trigger people, yeah, but it's not good to be triggered.
We need to trigger more people because this society is getting very wet, like very sensitized.
Yeah,
very
sensitive. They are. So it's like, no, that's too serious. But it's just, stand up for what you believe in.
All right. What else was I going to say about Twitter?
Don't know.
What else about Twitter? We can cut this out and post, don't worry.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll forget to cut it out, but I will cut it out. What's the time stamp? 33 minutes. Let me write that down.
That's a good idea. I always forget to write it down. It's long.
I was going to say something about social media, about haters and stuff, but it just blew my mind right there.
So yeah, I've had a lot of abuse on social media over the last few years. When I was just in games, it was fine. But the moment I stepped out into politics and started standing up for my beliefs, I got a lot of hate, a lot of racial abuse, a lot of all kinds of abuse, just because, like I say, people can't stand to see someone stick their head above the parapet.
Oh, I got racial abuse on stream once.
Serious?
I know, like, I find it funny because I find racial. No, I don't. I can't say that. Anyway, don't worry. No. No, people just like I can't say what they were calling me, but let's just say if you look at my stream chat, it's there. Anyway, I found it. I found what I was gonna say in my head. Your Twitter at. You gave it to someone.
What? Did you just call me a twat?
I can't say that to you. No. Your Twitter at. You gave it to someone, didn't you?
I didn't give it to someone. I sold it to someone for.
You sold it to someone. Are we allowed to talk about
substantial fee? Yeah, sure. I used to own at CR, which is a 2-digit character name, and you can't get them, so you can never register 2-digit names. But I was on Twitter from way back when, in 2000. What was it? 2008, 2009, and I had friends at Twitter, So I asked them to give me CR, and they did, and I had it for a few years, and I loved it. It was amazing having just 2 characters, but there were downsides. So the CR must mean something in China because my feed, my notifications was always flooded with Chinese symbols, so it's hard to see my
China,
mentions.
the Chinese. It goes
Again,
it always
they're
comes
always
back
on
to
me,
the
man.
Chinese.
It always comes back to the Chinese.
Oh no.
But this is before I was verified as well, so I didn't have that verified tab, which makes life easier. But yeah, I sold it to a company in America a while ago for a substantial fee, and that was nice. Now I'm at Calvin Robinson on my political and at Calvin Robin Hood on my gaming accounts.
Yes. All gonna be linked in the description down below. Oh yes, one other thing that we missed in the beginning. You see, before you were like had a real job, like a proper boomer job, like going to university and doing that, was like someone on my previous podcast asked a question that was YouTube or doing game review stuff from your own passion, like stuff you did out of your own passion, was there a good enough income for you to be stable?
Oh yeah, so I did my own thing for years and years and years before I got a boomer job, and I loved it. And I think, well, other sites that I owned, they all pretty much paid my way for a long time. I was in the tech industry for years before I became a boomer. I just used to spend my time going to like fancy events and having fun and getting drunk with my mates and just living my best life. But then at one
being drunk, but yeah. Anyway.
No, I do every now and then, everything in moderation. But but then, there comes a time when you have to grow up and become a boomer. It happens to us all.
Are you technically a boomer?
No, I'm not technically a boomer. I'm a millennial. But I feel like my life is a boomer now. So I've gone.
Life is when you become a politician. Your life is a boomer.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, politics is done for now. As in the election's over, I've got no more campaigning to do. My boomer job, I've gone down to part-time so I can focus on fun stuff again and things I'm passionate about again. I think it's important in life to do what you love. Like, I never regretted waking up on a Monday morning because I always got up to like review a video game or have fun or go to an event or meet some famous or interesting person. But the moment you wake up or you dread waking up on a Monday, that's the time you got to look at your life and think, am I doing something that I should not be doing, and make changes. And that's what I've done. I got to the point where I was like, oh no, Sunday evening, I do not want to go to XYZ tomorrow. Why am I doing this? So now I've gone, made changes.
All right, so hopefully this podcast pops off when I do the same thing.
Indeed.
I'm doing a podcast with Mike on Thursday.
Oh, cool. Mike is a good guy. I've known Mike for years. Again, he was one of the people that I kind of looked up to. Well, I won't say looked up to because he is a state, but he was a good guy. He was one of the grown-ups.
We need to know more about Mike's statement. Like,
oh my gosh! So he's
a
guy who's gone boomer. Yeah, what? Like, no, he hasn't gone boomer. He's gone PG. You're right.
Yeah, but no, I need to know this transition.
Like he was a bad influence, honestly.
What was it called?
He was the kind of guy that would just get drunk all the time, burp and swear like constantly, and I don't know. He was just a rebel, and now he's Mr. PG.
Yeah, Mr. PG will be next week. All right.
All right.
What's it called when someone's reformed? Reformed. Yeah, he's reformed.
Yes, that is the word.
Yes, I want to know his reformment story.
But he is such a safe and such a loyal guy. Like, I definitely recommend checking out his Twitch.
Yeah, we'll link that next week. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Or maybe I'll link it in the description today, so you can have some research to do. Okay, so that's all I had to talk about today. Do you want to chat about anything else that's people want to know, and you want to get out there off your chest that you don't talk about anywhere else?
No, I'll just say if you're into games, get out to Gamescom, get out to E3, meet some people, and start creating something. Be passionate, be creative, and
create something.
Put yourself out there.
I'm making YouTube videos every week now, kind of every week, one every 2 weeks, and I'm gonna vlog now as well.
Yeah, that was to your audience, but I mean to you personally.
Okay.
Like you're always like, yeah, I'm gonna do this regular. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, but then you kind of just do one a month or something, and you trickle away. You got to stick with it. Be consistent.
Yes. Always be consistent. If you be consistent, you'll get somewhere. There you go.
ABC. That's the rule.
Always be consistent. I had to process the alphabet in my head there. Okay, so this might be cut out of the podcast, but just a little thing at the end for people. Do you have any improvements for me for this podcast? Like, do you think I should ask more questions? Do you think I should be more concise, or what do you think? How did this go?
No, it's good. Maybe just have like 3 rough topics written down, ready to jump from one to the other.
I mean, I had what you're doing right now and your background. I had your gaming stuff, and I had some random stuff about the China thing.
Aye.
At the end, so that's kind of 3 things.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, this is going to be in the podcast, obviously, I know it is, but please write any questions you have in the comments, and I'll get Calvin to answer them if he can. And if
Yeah, of course.
Within reason, obviously.
AMA.
Just pop everything down. Anything I missed, anything you want to know, any dire questions about this guy. This guy has been out here for a long time. All right, so you know a lot of stuff. You know a lot of people. You know your game reviewer stuff. You know your stuff.
Yeah.
You know your warehouse.
Thanks.
Okay, so how do you want to end this? Do you want
to? Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Yes.